What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Love and Fame podcast, where the Love Doctor and I talk about life, love, and everything in between. Thank you guys for watching today. Check out tonight's actual episode about long distance love and can you handle it? All right. I'm your girl, Single Pain. I'm here on the quest for balance and the Love Doctor. Take it away.
What's happening, everybody? Yes, I am married now, but it took a long time for me to get to this place. I was out here and I was doing my thing and having fun out here playing with the ladies. But after a while, I got old and it was time to change my ways because I really wanted more out of females than just sex. And even in my first marriage, I didn't take it serious. I was out here philandering and I was having a great time, but at the same time, I was hurting the person that I was supposed to be protecting. So it took me a while in my development to realize the damage that I was doing, and I finally came to, a person now that I'm trustworthy. I love my wife. I'm happily married, and I'm in a good place. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just say, I'm gonna do my weekly rant today since we are here on Monday. I just want to say that, listen, a lot of times what I've noticed is that some people are not built for relationships. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be real with yourself. Some people are not built for relationships and some people are not built to be single. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You just got to find out where you are in that area. I see a lot of people like posting things about the opposite sex is so negative. They've been through and, these dudes ain't nothing and these girls ain't nothing. And, you know what I'm saying? And there's just a thing to where we just lose, we lose trust in the other sex. And it's hard to, it's hard to trust. It's like it's a thing where your body tries to, not go through the same thing again. So naturally, something that's hurt you in the past, you're going to reject that again because you don't want to go through the same pain. A lot of this is pain that we go through. That's why this is the Love and Pain show, because hey, love is pain and searching for love, man. Hey, you ain't gonna find it on your first person. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to go through some things sometimes, to actually get to where you want to go. And like I said, anything worth having is not easy. It's gonna take sacrifice, but at the end, it's worth it. So just think about that. And if you're going through some things, man, I know a lot of people, like I said, it's hard with the relationship. You might be by yourself. You might be wanting things. Just take your time. Just focus on developing yourself and being the best person that you can be. So when your person does come, you're ready. And get rid of that riffraff because, like I said, you carrying all this baggage and people come around. I'm telling you, you might chase away your soulmate because you got too much baggage. So get rid of that baggage, stay positive, and just do some self-development and be the best person that you can be.
Absolutely. You got to stay positive. Love Doctor. Always a pleasure to have your rants, no matter which way they're trying to go. And if this is your first time watching us, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that every time we go live, you know when we are up and popping. Again, tonight's topic is long distance love. Can you handle it? But before we get into that, Love Doctor, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm just, I'm starting to get a little cool here where I'm at. The weather's changing a little bit, but it's consistent. But I'm doing great. I had a nice weekend. Like I said, I did I did a lot of things around the house and everything. So yeah, everything is fine. How about you? How you doing?
Not too bad. I do have a quick question before I jump into me because I've always wanted to know, what is a good cool weather for Las Vegas? Because when I went over there, we was pushing like 90 something. It was crazy, which I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining because I do miss that weather. But what's a good, cool, comfortable weather for Vegas?
Well, remember, our humidity and our dew point level is a lot lower than it is in the Midwest. We have very low humidity. So it's normally like a 20-degree difference in temperature feel when you're outside. Like our 90 feels like Midwest 70. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like it's different, and you don't sweat or anything like that. So right now, this is how the temperature goes. Since we're in the desert, it's really hot. It goes like it gets into the hundreds around late April, early May, and it stays like that all the way until late September. So it's just switched over, and then now it's going to be like from now it's going to be like the highs of mid 60s, and then the lows of like low 40s all the way up until April again. That's just how it goes. It's like it's consistent weather. You know what I'm saying? And we hardly get any rain. We get like 320 something days of sunshine. It's always sunny, hardly ever rains, and it's really consistent. That's why when I see other people having bad weather and stuff, we rarely get that. We'll get windstorms and stuff like that, but it's really consistent weather.
Okay, all right. Well, good.
But it does get really hot though. Trust me, it gets hot. But we don't have no winter for real. Our winter, like I said, is low 40s, high 30s at nighttime for the low. So, we good.
I mean, that's not bad at all. But, I imagine because it's like a desert, right? Vegas is like a desert.
Yeah, it's a desert, right? Yep. And it's like I said, it's like a 20 degree, like our hundreds feel like Columbus's 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a 20 degree, but it's sometimes, like I said, it does get up into the 110s and things like that. And it feels like it'd be maybe 95 in Columbus, whatever. It's a 20 degree. Just look at that as a general rule, 20 degree difference in actual temperature feel because of the humidity.
Okay.
Or the lack thereof.
I'm still interested in coming back out there, checking it out again. It's so fun. And everybody's like, you don't need that long. You only need a couple days. And I'm like, for Vegas, only if you gamble. There's just so much more out there. So this past weekend, I really just worked. Right now, I'm looking at making some moves.
Right, so that's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. I think we might have a little bit of a delay, boss. But that's okay. We'll keep going through it. This weekend, I worked at another job. That's what I did is work. And then my main job is just, now that's the holiday season, they're making your days much longer because we're trying to get everybody out. Everybody flies in from all over the country. And so because everybody flies in, they actually want to get them out for the holiday versus staying here and waiting extra long or waiting extra late. So now we have longer days, which, it's not bad because I do enjoy it. But it's like, man, you guys are killing me. But trying to stack up for Christmas, so I know what to buy who. Because when I do my holidays, I take like a couple weeks off. I'm not trying to work. I'm not trying to look at nobody. I'm trying to sit there and recoup, get my mental back together so I don't choke nobody out. So I'm just prepping for that. I'm looking really forward to that. I want to get me a PlayStation 5. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Oh, look at Shauna. She said, glad you're doing well, Charles.
Oh, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've known her for a while. I worked on her computers and stuff like that. She was always been super cool. I appreciate your support, and I see you doing good too. I'm glad everything's going well on your end. Hope everything is as good as it looks. So, thank you very much for your support.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you for your support. News. What's going on in the news?
Okay, let's get through it. We're gonna get through a couple little pieces real quick. Let me see. Let's go through the first one here. Hold on. All right, here's the first one.
That's loud.
Do this one first. Okay, yeah. Okay, the first one is all right. Trina, she just got married, and she did it without a prenup, right? And on this show, like they asked about her husband, and they asked that why did she get married without a prenup? And so Trina goes on to say, hey, the reason why I got a prenup is because my husband can't spend no money without me. Without my permission. I control all the money. And when it comes in, he has to ask me if he could spend any money. So she says she doesn't need a prenup. Now, I mean, what is this, man? Is this pimping or what? Like, that's what I'm saying. This is extremely masculine behavior for somebody to sit up there and talk about they controlling all their money. That's what pimps do. You know what I'm saying? And this is look, I don't care how famous you are. I'm not going to agree to that. Like, what are you talking about? That means you're a child. For real, you're a child. So why would you get into a relationship like this just because she's a famous rapper? And you're going to follow all these guidelines just to be with her, like, and where does it end? It starts at the money. What is he sucking her toes every night? I mean, what is this?
That's his wife. Why not?
Well,
there's got to be guides.
Yeah, no, listen, no. If it's voluntary, if you enjoy doing it, but if she's making you do it, then you're a slave. That's all I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there's no gun to his head. He is free to leave at any time. He sees her as much as she's excited because she's married, and she feels like, oh, it's gonna last. I don't care who you are, male, female, apple or orange. If you are a millionaire, you've got millions. You've spent the majority of your life making millions. There is no way you should not have a prenuptial agreement with who you get married. And Shauna says she has ran her relationships with every partner she has. They know who Trina is. And there's no one is getting tricked into being with Trina. They know who Trina is. They know what she is. She came out with a song called "The Baddest Bitch." Like, what do you expect to get from Trina? Okay, now I feel like for him, if anything, it's a come up. I hope it lasts, because if it doesn't last, he's about to come up.
But I'm just saying, listen, man, look. I'm just saying, don't listen. I be telling people, look, don't look like a sucker out here, man. Like, it's okay. You still a man at the end of the day. I don't care who you with. Be a man. Don't let somebody sit up there and talk about you gotta act like she's your royal highness. You gotta like just cave to her like that. This is for a male or female relationship. You know what I'm saying? Now I know, like I said, her money supersedes whatever he has, but I mean, come on, man. Like, really? This is the way she's putting it out is disrespectful too. She's just like, oh, he don't get no money. Like, I mean, it's like I said, if it's in a respectful manner, then I can understand it a little bit more. But it's not. It's she doesn't like men, and she's getting back at him by messing with these simp dudes that is going to allow her to control the whole situation. Because she was with a couple guys she thought she was with, but they dogged her. And then now she's messing with guys that are well below her so she can control them.
It could be that. It could be that. I think a part of it could be that she has to say it that way because women are going to look at her like, "Ooh, you dumb," because you're marrying a man who you make way more, and you're not requiring any protection of your finances and your assets. That's why I think I don't think she truly handles the finances like that. I think she really has to say it like that because she looks dumb. She looks dumb marrying with no type of prenup. Shauna says, I have read that he makes his money and gives it all to her and she cuts him a slice. No, I don't think so. But I don't think it's anything like that. I think she just says that because she looks dumb. And he's a man. There's no way, no matter how much you brag on a man, that he is going to embarrass her. So she's going the wrong way. He's going to embarrass.
She embarrassed him. What are you talking about? Anyway, what's up, Slim Goody? Hold on, let's get to the next one because I'm man. Look, bro. Anyway, let's get to the next one because let's get off. Yeah. Hold on one second. All right. On the next one we got. I'm gonna stop this one. Okay. The next one we got Shine. Now remember Shine, he just got through doing like what did he do, like a 10-year bid? Something like that. And he got caught up in a murder beef, and he took the L for Diddy. And when he got out of jail, he said Diddy only gave him like 50 G's. So after he did a bid for him. I mean, and then he goes on to say, he said this on a Breakfast Club, that Diddy wouldn't be a billionaire if it wasn't for him because he took the deal or whatever the case may be, and he could have brought Diddy in there. He held his thing. So come on, man, 50 G's, bro. That's like $5,000 a year. I mean, really? That just tells you that Diddy he's a sleazeball, man. Like, I mean, this guy, while he was in jail, or whatever, I mean, he should have had him set up so when he got out, then he's good. He got his mansion or whatever the case may be, and he ain't got to worry about nothing because you allowed to, to be out here free, and you took the L. But like I said, there's really no, there's no loyalty in crime, man. Regardless. I mean, like I said, Diddy's a sleazeball, man. So this this is one of the instances that, like I said, you're supposed to look out for your boy, man. You damn near a billionaire. Come on, man.
Absolutely. He went in there when he was like 18 years old. Stayed in there for I mean, the only good part was like he was deported back to his home country, and then over there he became he changed his name, he changed his religion, and he became some type of somebody in politics over there. So that sucks that he had to go that way, but it seems like that kind of saved his life, because had he kept messing with Diddy, he would have been in some tumultuous grounds.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do one more, and this is another. Hold on, we're gonna do one more. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Screen.
I don't have any news. What is going on in this world these days?
You slipping? Okay.
I know.
I'm gonna share this one. This is another. This is another instance of simping. This lady gets on this podcast, and she's married, and she's married, and she has 3 kids. And she actually says that her husband was a simp and a sucker for marrying her. She said she's seen the opportunity and she took it. So she basically calls her husband a simp for marrying her and taking on her 3 kids. I mean, where is the respect here?
Oh yeah.
Why would you publicly just dog it? What is this? This is starting to be a pattern, man. Dudes are getting dogged, and now you see why a lot of guys don't want to get married, because
I mean, no, no, but because for every woman you find, I can find a man who's doing the same thing. So I can understand why people are wilding out here. But yeah, she did disrespect her husband. I will agree with you on that one. That makes no sense. But then I think a lot of times I gotta look at who is the husband here. Like, what type of individual this is for her to be so comfortable saying that. He's created that environment. If you're a man of a certain caliber, of a certain status, it wouldn't even cross her mind to do that to her man. So,
right.
Not every man is a great man. Some men are simps, especially if she goes up there.
Okay. I get that. So if they are a simp, that don't mean you got to publicly dog them, though. Like, they're still human beings. So so are you saying a simp should automatically be publicly humiliated by females?
Oh no, I don't believe that at all. I'm just saying that kind of like your thought process is, if you look like this, then we are going to treat you like this. That is your thought process for women. If you look like this, then we shall treat you like this. So if he's acting a certain way, she is treating him a certain way. That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there.
And that just goes to show you the biggest thing that I have in dealing with me. Remember, I have a mom. I got I got sisters on both sides with my mom and my dad's side. I got daughters. The one thing that I always have a disagreement with is, like, the biggest problem I have is that a lot of women, when they get a nice guy, they dog them. They do what they can to them, just like with these simp guys. Like, most of them are just trying to be kindness to their heart. And you just take advantage of them, man, and dog them, and just treat them like they're nothing. And I just don't agree with that, man. That's messed up, man. That's the issue I have with black women.
I mean, I have that issue with black men. They get some amazing women and they dog them out so bad. But what I'm learning is that it's a boundary situation. People get dogged out because they don't have boundaries. The first time you see someone being disrespectful, we want to sit here and work it out and negotiate with them because we feel like we can't do any better, or this is a really bad chick, or it's a really hot guy. This is the best that I can do. And so you start to accept certain behaviors. Like her dude, he probably is not that top quality of a guy. Because again, if you accept certain behaviors, people are going to keep treating you a certain way. So if you're, you got to get boundaries, you got to have standards. And because you don't have boundaries, people are going to treat you like a sucker. Men don't treat women like suckers. Women treat men like suckers. Her dude need to get himself some boundaries and bounce on her. Especially if those aren't his kids, he should just bounce on her. Why would you go through all that? That's silly.
Right. And Slim Goody says, and men do the same thing. I mean, yeah, I think it's a human nature problem, but I think the difference is with men, though, we actually would prefer for the most part, most men would prefer a woman to be more submissive. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and you be the lead. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas when a guy is he hands over his power to the woman, then now she, you know, she takes advantage of that, and you know, she don't. I don't want no pushovers and this and that. Whereas the guy, you know, we would rather have somebody that's more of a pushover as far as, you know, being more cooperative and helping us build and things like that. Whereas I think when it's flipped to the other side, I think more times women actually shun that, because at the end of the day, like I said, I think women want to be, they want to have somebody in the lead. They may not, y'all may not admit it, but I think so. I think y'all mad when you're not in the lead. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, this is just, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, you know, this is something that I just don't agree with. But anyway,
that's a conversation for another day. I'm very curious about that.
Let's get into our topic tonight. Okay. Now, as long distance love, can you handle it? Now, listen to me. All right. This is a small world. Okay. Especially when you stay in a city like Columbus or whatever. Sometimes it's too small. You know, you know a lot of people. So sometimes you can't get past your past reputation. You might run into people that you know, or that somebody that you know may have had a relationship with them or whatever. So at these times, sometimes you have to go long distance to actually find somebody so you can actually have a fresh start. Okay. I'm going to just give you an example. When I was younger, like we had moved into a neighborhood, right? And I was like, I was high school age, right? We moved to the neighborhood and I met this young lady and we started dating and something. This was at the high school age. We I ain't gonna say we started dating, but we liked each other. So we was talking for a minute. And, you know, and then when I actually brought her to the crib one day, you know what I'm saying? She told my mom her name and stuff like that. And she was like, this is our cousin. I was like, oh, but nothing had happened. I mean, I was young, you know what I'm saying? Oh, something was going to happen. Trust me, eventually, but it hadn't happened at that time. So I'm just saying, sometimes you have to go out of your area to actually find love because of your demographics. Like I said, and as far as like how Columbus is, to me, the Africans have completely messed up the market in Columbus.
Why do you think that?
The reason why I say that is because you talk about simping. They will simp with making an average to low average, not below average person, females thinking that they fine. And it messes up when you try to talk to, it's just the whole attitude like changes, man. I'm telling you, it's the whole market in Columbus is messed up. That's why I had to go out of my area to actually find somebody that was like-minded like me, that actually, that respected what I was, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a guy that's out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And, and I'm not no sucker dude either. I'm not no corporate guy or anything like that. So I'm like an in-between type of guy. I have my own business and whatnot. So it was harder for me to find somebody. It was harder for me to find love in Columbus. It was easy to find sex, of course, but love was hard for me to find because it was hard for somebody to actually respect the things that I bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and in Columbus, it was just a general disrespect that I just seen towards a lot of men, because I think a lot of men have probably, done wrong, just like I did. Like I told you, I was out here and I did wrong. And I think that it kind of messes up the mindset of how women view men. It might be, it's more transactional. It's not really a true love that I seen. So like I told you before, the further you get away from where you're from, the more valuable you are, because you are different. When I stayed in Georgia, I went down to Georgia, and all the Southern accents were different and things like that. And I was different. I actually went to school there too. And when I was down there, I was one of the few light-skinned dudes at the school. They called me red and all this other stuff, but I was different. I didn't speak with the same accent. So, the ladies was drawn to me because I was different. I was different from what they were used to. So it was easier for me to actually get on, even though I didn't have any problems in Columbus. But I'm just saying, like, when I was out of town, I was more valuable, and then there was more like people that I just had more options, because it was less likely that I would run into somebody that I was actually that I actually knew, or that may have knew me from the past, like, oh yeah, Chuck, he slept with one of my girls, or you know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's harder, man. That's why I say sometimes we have to do this long distance love, because there's more options when we spread out, we spread our wings and go to different areas. And there's a lot of different challenges that you have to deal with, but overall, I think that it's a good option, that we should, if you're not having success where you're at, I think that you should definitely try to maybe get online and just try people in different areas and see the different attitudes and how people just the different cultures are, as far as how they value relationships and things like that, because sometimes in certain demographics it just may not work for you.
That's true. I think what you're referencing to a point is being quote unquote exotic, right? If you're from Brazil and you come to Columbus, you're not from here. I mean, sure enough, that's Brazil. Everybody's beautiful. Oh my goodness, right? People are going to fawn over you. You're going to have a lot of options because you're here in Columbus, an old cow and dairy town. But in Brazil, you might be one of a million, right? There's a lot of people who look like you. So, you have much more competition down there than you have here in Ohio. So that's another thing that I look at is where you're at, your competition. If you're in a place where most people are, if you're down south, everybody's thick down south, right? So that might not, you kind of fit down there. Whereas when you're up north, most people up north may not be as thick. It's not as welcome. So sometimes you gotta play up to whatever your attractiveness is, whatever your strengths are. Another thing about long distance love that I like, it's also that sometimes you outgrow the area that you're in, or maybe you don't match the area that you are in, right? Maybe you're a big city type of personality and you're in a small town with people who don't, they don't fit your ideology. Your ideology is, well, maybe we should do this, that, and other thing, and they're like, oh, that's too liberal for me. That might not be for you. So I love looking for long distance love. I think that you can create some amazing connections across the country, all over the world. There's a lady I follow on YouTube. Her name is Fumi Desalu, and she met her man when she was 40, 41. She met when she was 39 and they got married at 41, and now she's 54. They've been together for 12 years. But she lived in New York and he lived in, I want to say, Switzerland or something like that. But they met, they made it work, and they got married. He met her parents, and just it's a different type of situation. But one of the things about long distance that is hard for a lot of people, because it's hard for them to do with someone right next to them, is trust. That trust is big. Could you do long distance, Chuck? Have you done long distance?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's funny that most of the relationships that I've had since I've been married were actually mostly long distance relationships. For me, long distance relationships, it like after I got divorced, I was trying to get away from Columbus anyway. So, different areas that I like to frequent, you know what I'm saying? Then I would try to meet people from that area. So it was always, a way I can make a trip, you know what I'm saying? I could go to somewhere that I like to go. And, that person that lived there, they could show me around. And, if you're a native from there, they can show you places that the tourist people won't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to go down to like Hollywood, Florida and stuff like that. And Fort Lauderdale, they were telling me about the Jamaican spots. This place called Dutch Pot. They gave me a little $5 lunch place. It's a big old serving, very good. Best Jamaican place I probably ever had, $5. Because I knew, I was dealing with some of the people that actually stayed there. So it was fun. So, I just had to get me a little ticket and go down there and we kick it and have a great time. And it's fun. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like, and this is one of the pros too. Like if you can actually maintain a rapport with someone that's out of town, over the phone with conversation and things like that, and you guys are engaged and you're actually just learning each other, then when you link up, it's just much more fun. You know what I'm saying? So unless there's deception as far as if they're not representative of who they are, if they're lying and things like that, then no, it's not going to be. But if you guys are both actually transparent and true to each other, then long distance relationships can be really fun. Hold on, we got they said a lot of successful or stable men tend to attract passengers instead of partners. Long distance is tough unless you can maintain that connection, right? And that's the thing. It has to be two willing participants in that. You know what I'm saying? But it can work because, like I said, you're bringing in a totally different type of vibe that they're bringing in. Just like you said about bodies and stuff like that. Man, when I first went to Georgia, I'm telling you, ass grew on trees down there. There was nothing but a thing. There was some dime pieces. I didn't even know they was dimes. I'm like, bro, they was humble and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the norm. It's the standard. I've known women that have left from like places like Columbus and went to different places where there's so many fine women that they might have been a 8 or 9 in Columbus, but down there they was like a 6. You know what I'm saying? Because people look different. But again, there was a 6 to me, but to somebody down there, they might have been more of an 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? Because they might like something different. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say, yeah, try out of your actual range and just strike up a conversation. They might like the same things that you like. Like I said, as we get older, if we're not finding where we're at, then you need to expand your search, man, because there's millions of people out here, man. Don't just keep yourself in Columbus, man. Search, just go out and broaden your horizons, man, and go out here and see what's going on. Like I said, my wife, she's from Chicago, but I met her in Vegas. And we had that great conversation off the bat. It was long distance. We was talking, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And once we finally like linked up and spent time with each other, it was great. I already knew that even before we really spent significant time with each other. I knew that this was going to be something that was going to be serious. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, she was like somebody I had never met before. She was humble. She was looking for the same thing that I was looking for. And hey, man, it was that chemistry. She had the same energy that I had. And that's what I was really looking for. Somebody that was just as serious as me, that gives me the same energy. I couldn't really find that in Columbus, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. And then plus, like I said, I had a reputation as far as, like you might know somebody I know. So it was a fresh start.
Yeah, I think that was probably more of a you need a fresh start. And sometimes that's necessary. When you've been in the city for so long and you have a certain reputation of yourself, regardless of if that's good, better, or indifferent. One of the things I find is that you kind of run into the same people over and over again. When you go out to parties or events, I'm noticing I see the same persons all the time. And I'm like, there has to be more people here in Columbus besides these few people. But that's why I like to get out there. I like to travel. When I travel, I find different things, different places. And in those different things and places, I connect with people where we have the same interests. Sometimes you don't have the same interests. And people feel like they have to find people only in the city that they're in. And that's because they're scared to do long distance, I think. And one of the reasons why people are scared to do long distance is one, you can't trust them, and then jealousy. Like that jealousy can impact your relationship for a long distance. You see them talking to somebody, or maybe they post something on their social media, and because you're not there, you're letting your mind just run freely, communication challenges. You're stuck with talking to this person on the phone all the time or by computer. You don't really get to touch them. And I think that touch adds a different type of element to a relationship, to being able to, I want to touch my person. Boom, I can go touch them. Versus when you're doing long distance, you kind of got to imagine touching them and, you feel so nice. Oh, get you one of those VR equipments and deal with it. How do you deal with that distance when you can't see each other? How far were you away from your long distances? Did you have to fly, or are you talking about driving distance? Tell me more.
Yeah, I've done it, like I said, coast to coast. You know what I'm saying? And I was finding people in different areas to where, like I said, I wanted to go. So for me, it was like, it was easier for me. Like I said, Mike, what he's said about you find passengers instead of partners. Um, but for
Mm.
me, it was pretty easy because I like to like I said, I'm pretty good at like just having a rapport, and also just building, like, just building conversation. Like once I started looking for more, it was more than just me just looking for sex. So it was kind of easy for me to just have the conversation, and if we had the type of chemistry, then it was cool. Just like, oh, this one time, okay, and like I said, all of them are not going to be successful, so don't think that they are. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, there was one girl that I thought was pretty good for me, but she was deeply religious. You know what I'm saying? And then when I
Mm.
actually traveled, to see her, she introduced me to her pastor, all her kids. On the first time I went there, I was like, I mean, it was cool and everything, but it was like it was a lot. And and I just seen how she was like, everything was predicated on what the church was doing. You know what I'm saying? Where I couldn't see that over the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because I was having conversations. But when I got there, we went to the church service, this and that, and which I don't mind. If there's something positive, that's fine. But when we got there, you know what I'm saying, they were speaking in tongues, and it was a different experience for me. So you
Wow.
know what I'm
It was
saying?
a turn off
So
for you.
I knew then, yeah, I mean, not a complete turn off, but I just knew that wasn't going to be a good fit for me because, like I said, she was,
Mhm.
like the pastor and all that was the one that was running her thing, and it wasn't going to be a good fit for me. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
didn't know that until I actually, actually spent time with her in person. You know what I mean? So yeah, so these type of situations, like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, you're eventually going to have to spend time with the person, and you're going to really see if it's really official or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it increases your chances if you can develop like a develop great conversation, and you can develop a really good rapport while you're on the phone. So when you meet up, it's not awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's the best way to do it, because like I said, for me, I like to connect with conversation. I like somebody that's intelligent, and I can just
Mhm.
connect on different levels. So if we link up and we have sex real fast before I get to know you, you know what I'm saying? Then these emotions might come in that might cloud how I really perceive how you are, or maybe you vice versa. So I think it's better to actually have these conversations before you guys meet, man. And I'm telling you, long distance, I'm telling you, it is really, for me, it's fun because you could get out here and travel the world, meet people, and have a great time doing it in a different environment that you've never been in. You know what I'm saying? And do different things that you've never done. And you can show them different things. If they come to your city that they've never seen.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely a lot of pros. Definitely.
Definitely like the pros. I recommend taking your time too because it's different. I think another thing is different about long distances. This person you don't see every day, so sometimes like when you're in dating, and I've been guilty of this. You need to verify some shit. Oh, I'm at home. Let's see. Yes, I know that's crazy. I recognize that. But it's nice to be able to verify some things, okay? That's just an extreme example. But just verifying, oh yeah, I went here. Or, just it helps you. It helps you understand that this person is right here. And although I believe that there's a more people in the world um who are decent people, they're not out here trying to get you, is every now and then you'll run into that one random person who fucks it up for everybody. So it it's harder for you to get into that comfort level because it feels like a lot that you're having to rely for what someone says to you, right? And you have to rely and say, "Hey, I don't know that you're telling the truth, but I have to believe you, I guess. I gotta believe you." So it's like you're building up a lot of trust in this individual, which is hard to it's hard to confirm. And I think it makes people not really want to do long distance relationships. A lot of people just have lost a lot of trust in others. And when you hear some of people's stories, you're like, oh, I can see why. And just real quick, you guys, it is almost it's 40 after the hour. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time we go live, you're aware, right? So how do you become how do you become more comfortable with something? Because I would be afraid that, oh, he lying. Oh, he lying. This nigga is lying. He is lying. Like, where do you get to the point of actually believing this person when you're so far away from them? And how far is
Well, the
too
thing
far?
is, I think for me, too far would be like out of the country. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could out of the country, but within the country, somewhere that we could fly, we can meet up. That's fine. Now, listen, remember, you cannot just not meet the person forever. You have to, if you only can go by surface conversation when you're on the phone and whatnot. So you would definitely have to eventually meet. And then once you meet the person, then that's when the confirmation and stuff comes in. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. But remember, I told you, I've dealt with people that were out of town. I told you there was a couple situations. One of the situations where, the girl, she stayed in Detroit. We was cool. I mean, for a long time, for years. And then, I would go up there for the weekend and stuff. We have great times in the weekends. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like 2 or 3 nights. And then once we decided that, hey, this is going so great, we're going to do like 5 days. Man, a totally different person came out. I realized she was an alcoholic. She had, you know what I'm saying? And, she just had issues, man, that I just could not see until, I spent more time with her. Because you can hide who you are on a little weekend getaway, a little power weekend. But you stay a little bit longer than you can actually see. And so yeah, you gotta, so you got to be careful. And that's how you kind of like build the trust, spending more time and actually meeting them and verifying, meeting their family and this and that. And when I have conversations, one of the things that I like to do, I like to find out, a lot about your background and how you were raised and things like that. Because, if you have past traumas or whatever the case may be, then that affects you and how you deal with conflict resolution as an adult. If you was in a house to where, mama ain't love you and, daddy was on whatever, you're going to have some issues. And the way you deal with it may not be just a simple argument. You might, like, if you argue with somebody, they might try to take you up out of here. You don't know. People be having demons, man. So you got to be careful on what their background is, and especially and where they were raised, and if it was like a survival thing wherever they were raised, because if they take things to the extreme because of their past trauma, I mean, they may not deal with conflict the same way you deal with it. Like I said, I was fortunate to have a father that I could see how he dealt with the type of conflict, like when people were yelling at him or this and that. He kind of shrugged it off. There was always a way that he dealt with it other than actually taking it to the next level, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. So for me, when things like that happen, I walk away. That's how I deal with it. I'm not going to sit up here and go back and forth with you and we yelling and all that kind of stuff, because it's going to, you're going to escalate it. And there's no telling, once emotional starts getting involved, there's no telling what's going to happen. So you just got to be careful, when you are dealing with long distance love, because like I said, people can hide things. People can be lying to you. They could have, it's easier to maneuver. Like I said, I had long distance people that I was cool with. And, I had little freaks on the side that would come through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had little holes. I mean, that was just, it was convenient. She wasn't going to never catch me, because we had a certain time that we would talk to each other and things like that. And then, after we hung up, after our little hour conversation, hey, what's up? Come on through real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'll just come through. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy. Like, it's easy to get that off. So you got to be careful, man. Straight up. It was meaningless, of course. And I really did like the person I was talking to on the phone more, but she wasn't there. So shit, what was I going to do? You know what I mean? So yeah. So you got to, I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, we keep it real over here. I don't lie about anything, because like I said, if I do, then what lesson is in that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep it real. Like, this is just the things that guys do, and women too. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be careful.
Yeah, you definitely got to be careful. I don't know if you're really selling it for the long distance lovers out here. They're like, no. But listen, here we go, guys.
I ain't selling it. I'm just saying that these are things that can happen. But there's a success story too. I am married from a long distance relationship. You see what I'm saying? I couldn't find my woman in Columbus, so I found my wife out of town. it can work if both of you guys are honest and transparent.
Absolutely. That is also another thing that they say that in long distance relationships that you have to do in order for you guys to, to grow. You have to be honest. You
Yes.
guys got to talk about if you're having issues with the distance, if you're having problems, you've got to, I think long distance relationships take an even higher level of honesty than a regular relationship because you're really trusting a lot on what this person is saying. And there's good and bad apples in all situations, right? I could find you 10 bad examples of relationships from long distance that went wrong. I can also find you 10 examples of relationships from online sites, from meeting someone at a bar, from just dating someone that a family member referred you to. There are so many instances of things gone wrong. And you could choose to live life like that, or you could live on the bright side, right? And the ways that help you maintain your long distance relationship if you're struggling, one, communicate to your partner regularly. Talk openly about your thoughts and feelings and listen to your partner's needs. Two, discuss your expectations. So Chucky has said this many times, make sure you set those clear expectations for how often you communicate, what you'll do when you're together, how you spend your individual time, plan visits. Chuck is right. You can't just sit here and talk about, well, when I see you, okay, don't speak about it, be about it. When you gonna see me? Plan
That's
those
right.
trips. Be honest. Again, be honest. Include your partner in your daily life. Share photos and videos, call or text each other. Some people just text or just send pictures of themselves all the time. There was this guy who I met, and he just sent pictures of himself all the time. And it's like, damn, baby, you fine, but you're not that fine for me to sit here and look at all these pictures all the time. So show parts of your life. Even if you think it's mundane, it helps include that person into your life and what's going on. Also, be creative. There's so many ways for you to connect with someone. When I dated someone over a long distance, there were online board games that we could play, and I love trivia games. I love board games, and we would sit here and we could play chess online or Connect Four. All kinds of different board games that we could play. So you got to find stuff there. They even have it now. There with the technology that we have, it's not like back in the day when you just had a wish upon a star and you had no insight into your person over the world, or you had only one way to connect with them, which is writing a letter. There are so many ways for you to connect to people. Now, Apple has it where, or at least with iPhones, you can watch a movie with someone on your phone. Y'all can do FaceTime and you can watch a movie. There is no reason for you to be able to get you a long distance love. And I know it's scary, but try something new. Take you a couple lumps on the head. Everybody's afraid of being hurt, and I get it. Getting hurt it sucks. I know. I've been there. But what if, like, I don't know, what if your $1 million match is right there? You just got to get hurt one more time to get that $1 million match. Or what if you're not going to get hurt anymore? Try something new, especially if you've been doing the same thing over and over again. That's insanity, right? Trying the same thing, doing the same thing, and expecting different results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, yeah, I mean, listen, nothing is guaranteed in life. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is change. That's it. Everything else, you have to take calculated risk. You know what I'm saying? And if things aren't going your way where you're at, you definitely have to look outside of either the different type of person that you're dating or look in a different area of the person that you're dating. So where maybe they have a different mindset. Maybe, you might want a girl or a guy with a stripper body, but that's a nerd and that's faithful. You in some areas that's impossible to find because 90% of the time that's going to be on stage. If you go to different areas, you might find that might that stayed in school, that's just a righteous person. You may find that. So you just gotta because different areas that I went to, like I'm just giving you an example, like places like, let's say, like West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a country town. I mean, people are different, but a lot of them be like they be like raunchy, man, and shady for what I seen. Like a shady region to me. I don't know. They be talking country, but they be slick down there. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of places like that. I wouldn't recommend that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're looking for a white girl. You know what I mean? Because there's very little sisters down there, and it's just different. You know what I mean? Straight up. I would recommend maybe somewhere like maybe like a North Carolina, somewhere like North Carolina, maybe even like Houston. You know what I'm saying? Where somebody, where there's a big middle class down there, and you may find somebody that's actually more serious and may have more things going on, depending on what you're looking for or where you're at in your life. You know what I mean? So just be careful, like with different places that you go, because like I said, nothing that you're taking a chance regardless if you meet that person or if they're out of town, because you just don't know. You just really don't know until you know. You really are not going to really ever know somebody unless you either work with them or you live with them. Those are the two ways that you really could know somebody, because you could know all their trends, if they're lying, if they make up stuff, how they really operate. That's the only way you can know them, if you live with them or you work with them. So, and anything, just I'm telling you, man. But like I said, it's really a good thing, though, man. It's refreshing just to deal with with different attitudes and just different ways of life, and we should always continue to be growing as human beings anyway, and just exploring, just seeing different things in our life. Especially if we haven't found that person, get out and just see the world, and you'll have a different perspective when you come back to your original city. You know what I'm saying? It's people that I'll be telling, like, man, I'm telling you, need to come out and check this out, this and that. They will not leave Columbus for nothing. Like, they just think Columbus, and it's not, man. Come out, go out and explore and see some things, man. And I'm telling you, your whole mindset will be completely different, and for the type of people that you normally date, it'll change too. So ladies, guys, I mean, go out and explore, man. If you haven't found that person, or even if you have, go out and just explore and see the world and travel and stuff like that, man.
Exactly. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You was cooking, Chef. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Chef.
Chef.
Yeah, that's you, Chef, because you was cooking.
Oh, my fault. No, I was done.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, yeah, because a lot of people do not like to leave Columbus. And I don't understand it. I don't understand you complaining about your surroundings and also never leaving your surroundings to see what's out there.
Right.
And what's new. There's tickets you can buy. Even I don't care, people, and people make fun of people for whatever reason, right? There were people at a time when people from Columbus were going out to Miami and Florida, and they're like, oh, there's other places besides Miami and Florida. And there is, right? There's other places, but like, shut up, let people enjoy their lives. You guys, get out there, buy you like a little $4 ticket. Okay. There's cheap tickets. You can go to Kayak. You can go to Southwest. There are places where you can get you some cheap tickets. You can go to hotwire.com, get you a cheap little a cheap hotel, and save you some money. Quit buying all that McDonald's. You don't need that anyway. Save you some money, put that up, and get out of the city. Your love is out there. I would date somebody in another country, but I think one of the things I was reading that people were saying is when you're dating people long distance, is you do have to work on your self-confidence, because a lot of times, people are sitting there and they're letting their minds get away from them, right? They're like, uh-oh, they're not calling me. No one's calling me. I'm supposed to have X, Y, and Z. There's no one here. Da, da, da. And you're just losing your marbles because you think that your dude is out here sleeping with somebody, and you got to work on a lot of your confidence, and you have to be okay with being by yourself for a little bit, because if you're not confident, if you don't have that self-confidence, you could run off somebody who's really just trying to be here for you. I'm a person who works a lot, and there's times where I can't get to a phone because of my job. I have a job where I'm not allowed to have my cell phone with me. So I have to put my cell phone up when I get on site. And by the time I get to my cell phone, I have a lot of text messages. And if you're a person who is not securing yourself, you might feel like, oh, I'm cheating on you because I'm not getting back to you as soon as you would get back. But you have to work on that self-confidence. A lot of people blow some really good opportunities because they're insecure. And especially if you never dated a baddie, you've created some type of wild idea in your head and you miss out on a really good thing because you're not securing yourself. So long distance relationship, it also takes work on your end, on your part. And if you're not doing that work for yourself, you are going to chase away the good thing. So please, you guys, when you're out there, do that mental work, that internal work, land you a good one.
Right. That's right. I'll give you, I always got stories, but
oh, please story me.
Yeah, another story. All right. Mm-hmm. So I dated, I met this lady. I actually met her when I was in Vegas, but she was from Riverside, California. Right. So again, that's why I say that the further you go away, the more valuable you are. She started dating me, and this lady had a really good money. She probably had almost $1 million crib. She was really successful, things like that. The reason what attracted her to me was she was from the Los Angeles Riverside, which is about an hour from LA, and I didn't have no tattoos. Like most of the guys that she said had gang tattoos or some type of form, you know what I'm saying, where they were gang affiliated and things like that. Because I wasn't from the area, but I'm still I'm still a solid dude. I was different. You know what I'm saying? And that was somebody that she felt comfortable bringing around her kids. I went, I hung out with her and things like that. She treated me to a nice birthday. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I had a great time. We didn't end up eventually getting together because of other little reasons, but it was still, I mean, she was a person that if her mind was right, we could have maybe did something, but her mind wasn't right. But that was still like a case to where, since I was different, I stood out from the average person, average guy that was in her area because she was used to dating these guys that was in the hood and I had hood mentalities and things like that. Since I was different, I kind of stood out. So that was just
absolutely. Absolutely. I that self-esteem is big. I was telling you about the show that I've been watching, Love is Blind, and many of the seasons you have that one girl who knows like she's maybe a little more plus size than the other girls on the show, and maybe she just lost a lot of weight and she really sees it, so she has like low self-esteem. And the dudes will be into her. They're like interested in her, or at least they're doing what they're supposed to do. And she flips out when he's getting so close to somebody who's physically attractive, or she's just you like her way more. I saw the way you were laughing at her, and it just really starts to eat away at the relationship because he didn't bring up anything about your looks, but you keep bringing it up. So before he might not have even been thinking about that, or she might not be thinking about that. But now that you have brought it up so much, now he's like, you know what? You do look like a dinosaur in the face. Yeah. Now that you say it so much, I see it. So work on that, you guys. You might lose you a big fish out here. You need have that confidence. There's a lot of people who's going to tell you too cute to think that way. No, because somebody thinks you're hot. So just stay on board, okay? Stay on board, stay on task.
Right, that's right. All right. So yeah, we coming to the end of the show. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Any last words before you get up out of here, Champagne?
Take a chance. You're striking out at home. You might as well strike out worldwide.
All right. And like I said, that concludes our show for today. Listen, my last word for today, and I'm a master of long distance. Like I said, just take your time. Make sure that the person is consistent. Find out where their background is, and just take. That's the good thing. You don't have to rush it. You can take your time. You can let the relationship develop, and things can just happen, and you can just explore and just try something new, man. And that's the keeps the relationship going. And the anticipation. That's the biggest thing. When you're anticipating meeting someone, even like if you've already met them, all your things are planned, you can just have straight fun when you meet them. If you're anticipating and, enjoying the time with them and you talk about what you guys are going to do, it's a lot more it's more powerful than just meeting somebody local. Trust me. Thank you for listening. But all right, y'all, that's the end of the show. We'll see y'all this Thursday for Thursday Night Therapy. Peace.
Peace.